Hello, it's been a while. It's been Octoberish since I've done like a full painting, real-time painting thing for my YouTube channel. So, forgive the delay. I'm very sorry, but I'm very busy. So, what we're going to do today is something a little different. I've only done it really a handful of times and I have no process for it. There's no process. Like I haven't figured out a method or anything for this. There isn't a step-by-step. It's again another feeling out thing. But you'll see there's a little scribble here. Oh shoot, my tablet's not connected. Hold on. Okay, it's because I've unplugged and deplugged and. All right, this needs to go in here. Let's see if that works. Register. There we go. Let me make sure it's actually gonna... Okay, cool. Okay, so yeah, I have a doodle here. A little doodle that I did the other day. It's on some lined paper of a boat or something. So I want to try to transform that into like a full... nice looking painting. So I've imported it into Photoshop and we're gonna just start playing around with it, see what we can make. So and you know what I want to try doing? Just start pulling the actual native colors out of this right out the gate. Let's just see what type of colors we can get from lined paper and ink. But you might be surprised, we might be able to get quite a few colors. Maybe we'll make this like a foggy day image. We gotta zoom out so I can pull things around a little better. Yeah, I got this idea when I was just doodling. In between, spurts of editing for the History Dose, the latest History Dose video that came out, which is the fall of the Inca Empire. So we had the rise, and now we just did the fall. So I was just doing some doodles, and I did this one, and I was like, oh, that looks pretty good. I wonder what that would look like as a painting. I was like, maybe I'll just import it and we'll see what I can do with it as like a base layer. So that's what I'm attempting to do. Do you know what I want to try doing? Grabbing this, see there's this lined paper right there, the blue ink. I wonder if I could just grab a bit of that blue ink, copy it out, paste it, see if I can make it its own thing. Like if I can extend the color maybe into the sky. Alright. Actually, before we do anything else, let me make sure I'm still recording. I am still recording. Okay. And I kind of want this, I want this to be a quick one. I don't want to spend 2 hours on this. This is just going to be a simple... How can you turn a little, not really thinking much of it, doodle into a nice looking painting? So yeah, this is the blue line. This is the blue line that I just stole from the little section on the piece of paper, and I'm just playing around with its levels right now, seeing if I can get some interesting colors. That looks like an interesting color. So now what I want to do is I just stretched this thing out, I played around with the colors, I made it a little more vibrant looking, popped out the blue a bit more. Now I'm gonna go into my my layer settings and play around with the different blend modes, see if anything jumps out. Like that might be pretty neat. I kind of like this. I kind of like that silhouette-y thing going on here. But let's play with the colors still. Yeah, so the if you don't know, a lot of my work has like silhouettes in it. And the thing I like about silhouettes is they convey shape, they convey form, they convey unity with simplicity. So you're actually not getting a lot of info. You're not seeing every bit of rigging on a ship or something, or you're not seeing every local color tone, but like the human eye like fills that in. Well, not necessarily the human eye, but the human mind fills that in. The human mind knows what you're looking at. And I'll go back again to, and I'm sure I've mentioned this in prior videos, Craig Mullins, great digital artist. His philosophy that like shape is like the most important thing. So once you nail down shape, once you get down the shape of something, you actually have a lot of leeway to change, color, to change lighting, and it still reads well. You can still be like, yeah, that looks like a ship. And actually, I've been looking at a lot of stills from different cinematographers, especially like Greg Fraser, Roger Deakins. There's so many of their stills. Let me see if I can just pull up one. Go into Google. Oh, no. Okay, cinematography. Yeah, so stuff like this, and see if I can get like a compilation one. Some stuff from Dune as well. So, and stuff like this. I don't know if is that too small for you guys to see? Let me zoom in on them. So that one, the top one, I believe is from The Batman. And then this is from Dune Part 2. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's Dune Part 2. But this is like, this stuff is, technically speaking, it's high level. But if you were to break it down, and you want to do a painting or something, there's so much just simple shape language going on here. Like, look, you don't see all the hair follicles on her eyebrows. You don't see much of her face at all. Really, you don't. It's cast mostly in shadow, but there's these gentle gradients. But because he's reduced these shots to their shapes, they're these easily readable shapes. We know what we're looking at. And there's something compelling, there's something profound about reducing something to its mere shape. And look, if I just bring up the contrast, boost down the brightness, it's still readable. Like, we've now sapped most of the color and lighting out of it. And actually, let's go ahead and take all the color out of it. So this is it with, bringing down the lighting and then taking out all the color. It's still readable. And that is the foundation of a great, not just a great movie scene, not just great cinematography, but, great paintings, great works of art. They're not confusing. On a very simple, dumb level, they're just very straightforward of what they are. They're unapologetically this thing. So, going off of that, let's continue with this painting here. So yeah, I just have a simple shape I'm working with. I like the roughness. We're getting from the ink here. And I'm just going to keep on pushing and pulling things. I'm going to use my mixer brush tool. If you have Photoshop, you might know what that is. Mixer brush tool. And I've gone over it in my other videos, but basically, you can take any brush and then you can grab a piece like this. So I'm going to grab this piece right here. And if I start stroking, it's basically what it's doing is it's taking the quote-unquote paint when it's actually just a piece of the image, and it's stretching it out. So it looks like I'm kind of moving the colors, moving the paint that was in that area, as if it's real paint. So it does a good job of emulating a very painterly aspect and brings a lot of texture to it as well. All right, we will. I do not want to get too lost in like detailing out the ship here. That is, just keep it simple because I want this to be a shorter video. I want to see how much I can achieve in a short amount of time going off of a little doodle like this. So let's just put in like another little sail here. And some rigging. And, you know, I'm not an expert with rigging off the top of my head. This is going off of no references. This is just me making stuff up. But I do have friends who are like, you know, well, one friend in particular who knows a lot about ships. And he will provide me references and stuff and be like, the rigging should look different here. And I do get that. But sometimes I'm just like, I'm in the flow here. And I kind of just want to make something that looks shippy. I don't want to get too bogged down with the details. But I'm sure that anyone out there who knows a bunch about rigging and ships and stuff would think this is a travesty. But that's part of the reason why I'm keeping it very silhouetted and very vague. So I don't want you to see all the imperfections here. But, yeah. So we just, and I hate to date this video because I want it to be timeless. But, yeah, just finished up the second part of our Inca narrative, the Inca Empire story that we wanted to tell. And we published that, and it's actually doing pretty well, so I'm pretty happy about that. It's getting a good amount of views. People seem to like it. That was a ton of effort from both Chris and I. It was I think like our second longest video. And that was fun, you know, doing the art for that. And oh my god, I hope we do like a live stream or something. So you need to see the art reference guide for this is insane. It is, I want to say it's like 200 pages or something. It might be less than that, but it is very, very long. Chris did a ton of research, a bunch of references from archaeology, you know, historians, different quotes, actual sites, you know, that you can still go to today in Peru. And so, yeah, it's safe to say this was, you know, quite a gauntlet trying to get all the art done. And then the music as well, because I've started composing music. The last maybe half dozen or so videos is all original score, or at least mostly original score. And oh my god, I feel like someone's gonna kill me about this rigging. So we're gonna make it very, very artistic and strokey and messy. So people would just think that I'm not trying to be super accurate here. And I'm not trying to be super accurate. I'm just trying to paint the platonic form of a ship in the fog. What was I talking about? Inca? Yeah, so I've started doing more and more music for all of our videos. And it's fun. I like doing that. And there's always like a compromise you kind of need to make between historically what type of music, the culture that you're covering, what type of music they would perform in different rituals or just, gatherings or something or whatever. And the emotion that you want to convey. So there's sort of like, there's a lot of very beautiful Andean music. But a lot of the, traditional music that you'll hear today isn't technically traditional to the Inca Empire. It's a lot of music that comes post-Spanish contact, so a lot of acoustic instruments, a lot of stuff that does sound very, Spanish influenced, obviously. And that music is very, very beautiful. But for the Inca Empire, I tried to steer away a lot from using acoustic instruments because it was like, we want to, however vaguely, capture the tone of, pre-contact South America. Right now, I just painted a couple strokes on another layer, and I put it into the layer into the blend mode lighter color, which what it does, from what I can tell, because I actually don't know a ton of the logistics, I just see what looks good. What it does is, like, you see any darker area, so like the really dark areas, is it goes, oh, on this layer, we're just going to make it really kind of lay over all the dark areas. So you'll see it like perfectly silhouettes the shadow of our ship here. So I think that looks pretty cool. And what I'm going to do is just stretch it out, and I'm going to take an eraser, one of my eraser brushes, and just erase some of it out. So it looks like it's maybe fog coming up from the water. Maybe it's fog gently sitting on the water. Maybe show a bit of the hull a bit more. That's looking pretty cool. I kind of like how this is turning out so far. Oh no, I messed something up. Yeah, this is looking pretty cool. I think I kind of want to be done with this soon. I like the unfinished, the unfinished, messy state of this. So, how long have we been filming? 17 minutes? Maybe make this like a half-hour painting or something. And of course, there was, several minutes baked into the actual doodle itself. Sorry, I'm looking at my text. I just need to text someone real quick. Sorry, guys. Okay, back to this. Okay, so what I want to do is I need to start with ripples in the water. We have a nice little reflection of our ship in the water, a nice dark reflection. But let's get some ripples here. Let me... So, yeah, I have a brush that kind of emulates the ripples. So I'm going to do I did that on a separate layer so I can kind of stretch around. And what I use for the little ripples here is actually just the sky color. I just took the same color that I have in the sky because I want it to look like it's the sky reflecting on this thing. And what you can also do too is do the same thing, but with, the shadow color. Looks like that when the ripples are in the water, the top of the ripple would be reflecting, the sky or the sun or whatever. And then on the other side of the light, you'd get, more of a shadow. So keeping it little in shadow here. And this is looking pretty cool. I I'm debating whether or not I want to put like a little sun in. It's such a cliche, I do it so often, but I like it. I like how it looks sometimes. So maybe we'll put like a very tiny little sun. So I am just taking a piece of the canvas and I'm brightening it. And whatever do you want? You could read as a sun or a moon. Either one. Alright, and what I want to do is I'm going to take my whole piece, so my entire canvas, and I'm going to play around with the levels here. Let's see if we can get something interesting out of this. And what I like to do is I like to, you know, crush it all down a bit, add a little darkness, and then go back in with a much softer brush. Usually just typically a soft round brush will do. And set that brush blend mode to like color dodge. Something that will really bring out the brightness. And then I will put the opacity down a bit on the brush because I don't want to blow out the entire canvas. And I will just kind of paint over the areas where I want a little more light. So maybe I want the sun to be beaming down a bit more. Or the moon. I don't know. I don't know. Now it's starting to look like a moon because I made everything so dark. Well, maybe it is a moon. I don't care. Whatever it reads as, I'll take it as long as it looks okay. So I'm going to do a little bit on the water. And do you know what? The water should be having some harsh reflections of this moon sun thing as well. So I'm going to take a bit of that just pure, bright, opaque yellow and go in and just paint some specks of light on the water surface. There we go. We'll see how that looks. That looks pretty cool. It is looking very nighttimey. It's looking very John Atkinson Grimshaw-y, which is fine. That's pretty cool too. I'm going to play around with the colors on this now. Sometimes I like to bring out the blues a bit. And maybe we could try and make it look a little more daytimey like this. Bring out some of the reds. There we go, that's pretty. Let's see if I like it. I don't know. I might like the other one better. And sometimes, you know, I'll do this. I'll experiment and be like, I kind of liked it when it was darker. Which is why I always, you know, I save multiple layers. I'll copy and paste. Let's see. You know, I kind of like it a little brighter, but I feel like it's taking out a bit of our cooler tones, like our lighter blues. So I'm going to go back in with a very gentle, soft, textury brush. I'm going to choose a much kind of cooler blue color here. And I'm going to paint like a little cool fog in. And we might go pretty big and just paint over the whole thing here. Okay, what are we doing for time? About 24-ish minutes. And I'm feeling, as far as doodles go, you know, this isn't too bad. I'm noticing, I'm actually still seeing a bit of the, if you notice, the lines from the original paper in here. So let's maybe try to paint those out. Maybe with blend it a bit. And what I want to do too is our sun is a little too like, you know, opaque. I want it to have a bit of a haze to it, a bit of a glow. So I'm just taking the color of the sun and I'm just lightly adding it there. Maybe I'll do the same thing on the reflections, like it's blooming a bit, like that. All right, okay, I think this is it. And I'll let roll like a little, I don't know, whatever I do, a little showcase of the entire image on the screen at the end so you can see it in its entirety. Thanks again.